The guy walks up to me. He was like, "Don't touch me! I'm warning you! Don't touch me! Don't you touch me!" I'm like, "Hey man, I'm not gonna touch you. I'm gonna touch the bag because I'm gonna need it back." I'm a manager. I manage. I run this. I run the store, and basically, I was the closing manager. So it was me and two cashiers. We had one cashier cashiering, another cashier on the floor, um, cleaning and doing whatnots, and I was on the floor as well, making the aisles. We call it boxing out or zoning or however you want to, I don't know, say it. There's so many terms, but basically we just push all product forward and make the shelves look nice and all that good stuff. I'm in there. I'm working our specialty or special aisle, seasonal, however you want to say it, seasonal aisle. And this lady comes by me. Um, she goes, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" I go, "What's up? Pretty good. How are you?" And working in retail for how long I've been working into, I get these signals, like these red flags that just flare up when I just know someone's in there that's up to no good. And I've yet to be wrong on these signals. I've yet to. And she walks past me, uh, instant red flags. I'm like, "Oh, little sussy, what are you up to?" And my surprise, she goes straight to our bags, like our shopping bags, where you can grab and buy and put your groceries in instead of buying like paper bags and sacks. Because these are like big old bags, you can fit like a bunch of stuff in there, just like stuff it. All your groceries, there's probably like $100 worth of groceries in there. It's one of those big bags. And my thing is, she probably didn't expect an employee to be down that aisle, doing all that stuff. And so she comes down the aisle, she sees the bags, and then she goes, "Oh, this is what I was talking about." And I turn around, and it's a dude that's with her. And I'm like, "Okay, boom, that's a super red flag." Usually they work in teams of two, um, and they work in teams of two, so they're like, "That's the one," blah blah blah, and all this other stuff, all this good stuff, all that, and then they walk the store. And when they leave the aisle, what they usually do is split up, and what they did was split up, and they both had a bag with them. And the thing with people like this, you can kind of tell as well if they're gonna if they're gonna be shoplifting, because it's pretty simple. Because the way they shop are gonna be way different than the way that other people shop. Which people don't know this, but they will, for examples, they will shop without looking at prices. They'll just kind of look at just grab things without kind of looking at them and not knowing the price. They'll just grab the product and put it in their cart, and they act like they're actually trying to. It's weird to explain, but they're like acting like they're shopping, so they're really into it. They're like, hmm, 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 hmm. It's so easy to tell. It's so easy to tell, and they're like looking at they'll just pick a random object and kind of go like this. Hmm. I don't know if I want Clorox bleach or cat food, but uh, yeah. So, and then what they do is, uh, they want to scout the store, make sure there's no employees on the floor to so they can leave the store. Because a lot of times, they'll do it during that time, and usually during that time, I'm in the office doing like office work, getting the store ready to close. And at that time, I was actually a little behind, so I was on the floor. And so I see all this stuff that just happened, and those red flags are going off. So I'm like, okay, we can prep. This is it. This is how it's going down, right? It's going down. So, um, so usually I team up with other managers so we can squash it out pretty quick. But since I'm the only manager, I head up front to the registers, and I tell my cashier, okay, just make sure all these registers that are not being used are locked down. So we have that little rope that goes across and clips down. But we also tie carts through them as well. And then we just have the one register that's being used, and that's it. And then our entrance sign, our entrance door that come in, it's only a one way. So if you wanted to go through it, you had to push the door out as an emergency, or you have to kind of give it a little pressure to open. That, or you have to just push the carts out of the way and go through one of the empty registers. And so I get them all blocked off. And then what I do is I take my little cart. I'm using the box out or a zone, these aisles, and I go up to produce. The kind of, straighten out produce. Because it needed to be straightened out. But that was a perfect scenario where I could just go up there and do that while I have my, manager presence in there. Because I'm standing by the entrance and the front, ready to pounce on them. And so so I'm over there boxing out and all this other stuff, and that's when they start lurking over to produce, because they're coming over to produce because they want to leave out the entrance when someone's coming in. When the door opens, when someone comes in, they want to take off. So I'm sitting there by the entrance ready to go, and they come over to produce with bags full of groceries. They have freezer items, they have cooler items, they have a bunch of snacks and whatnots. And you're coming back to produce to just now grab your produce? No, you grab your produce when you first walk in. That's why it's right next to the entrance. It doesn't make sense. But then again, they do that fake shopping, the fake shopping stuff, where they go, do I want this? I don't know. Do I need peaches or do I need avocados? I don't know. Do I have a room next to my ice cream, cereal, and all those other goodies? But they obviously saw me, which deterred them from taking that exit. So this is what happened. They dispersed back into the store, and the first person, and then what happens next is the guy starts walking up to the front. He goes through the registers. He goes through one of the empty registers, pushes the cards out of the way. He doesn't have nothing on him. But what he does have is one of those bags I mentioned at the beginning that you can stuff full, but it wasn't used. It was folded up, and he had a backpack on, and the bag was folded up underneath and pushed up on his backpack, but the backpack was like a string bag, so you could see it. And the cashier called it out to me, like, hey, he's walking out with one of our bags at the store, and I'm like, okay, it's go time, because he didn't pay for it. He's walking out of the store with it. This is our property. So I go out there. I'm like, hey, man, wait up, man. Hey, I'm going to need that bag back. As I approach him. And I'm about like a foot away from him trying to do that stuff. And he goes, and this is still on the property. The retail property. And my thing is, I never escalate the situation. No physical contact. I always de-escalate the situation. And I always keep my distance and whatnot and try to, peaceful ending, if you will. Anyways, I go, hey, man, I need that bag back. Just give me the bag back and you can go on your way and all this other stuff. And I'm, a foot away and all this other stuff. He's like, don't touch me, man. Don't touch me. I'm warning you. Don't touch me. Don't you touch me. I'm like, hey, man, I'm not going to touch you. I'm going to touch the bag because I'm going to need it back. I'm going to need the bag back. And then he gets the bag out and hands it to me. As he hands it to me, I turn around and go back inside, and there goes the girl walking to catch up to the guy, right? And in the store, she was the one carrying all the products with the heavy bags and all this other stuff. She was the mule of the situation. But I checked, as we path crossed, she didn't have anything on her. So I was like, I'm not going to bug with it. I'm not going to mess with it. She's obviously abandoned those bags in the store, declared those bags in the store. Anyways, I go in the store, safely and successfully prevented a shop lifted. So it was a good day, because most times I end in defeat because I usually don't stop them. So this will be the second time. This is the second time in a row I've stopped him. Kind of feeling good. Anyways, turns out when he left and he saw me running after him yelling, that kind of deterred her. And she was like, well, okay, this ain't happening, I guess. And so she abandoned that bag full of freezers and cooler and grocery items on a bottom shelf, on an end cap, pushed all the way back behind some candies. I had to go in the camera and watch to see where she left it, because we got to find that product, because we got melting stuff in there, right? So we find that, It wasn't that big a deal. It was just, I don't know, 25, $30 at the most. So it's not something I'm going to flip out about. We do have people that come in and literally get close to $1,000 worth of product in a cart, and they try to leave with it. 9 times out of 10, I personally never seen them be successful with that kind of stuff because it's super obvious, and you call it out, and you can call it out right there. And so I probably stopped a couple of those. Those are the ones I'm always successful on because you just spot it and you set up. But speaking of that last time that I was, it was basically the same setup, the same way I did it. But this time, again, team of 2, they come in, a guy and a girl. They come in, they're walking the store and all this stuff. They didn't grab a bag. What they did, I didn't see them shopping, so I didn't see it. I was up front, but all I saw was them leaving. One of them did have a bag. I don't know what was in the bag. I'm not going to assume what's in the bag. I always assume the best of people, and that usually what skids me. But I'm up front by the registers, working some registers, and I have another manager. She's working she's being the main cashier, and the guy walks up to me, and he looks in my cart. I'm doing curbside. He was like, "Oh, what's this?" Picks up the grapes. I was like, "It's grapes, man. Those are mine." And as he's doing that, the girl walks past him, so obviously holding like 2 packs of the 10 patties. It's like so they're the 10 for 10 patties, and she's holding 2 of them and a pack of buns, and she's walking by, and I'm just doing this. Right? I'm just watching her. And I go and get a visual cue from the cashier, just confirm that she didn't go through the line and go back into the store. And she goes, "Yeah, they're just leaving with those." So I run, and this time I caught them before they got out the store. I kind of got in front of them, and then I was like, "Hey man, just give me the patties. It doesn't get hurt." And as I was doing that, the guy was like, "Don't touch her, don't you touch her," because and with these situations, every time we try to get our property back, they always threaten, and we want to avoid that. So that's why most times we just let it go because it's not worth it. At the end of the day, it's not worth our safety, right? But we do want to do our best and whatnot. So I go, and they're a big package. So I go, I just want the patties. And you guys are good to go. And so I kind of just grab them without touching her. And she just gladly gave them back to me because she just wants to get out of there. Because that's too much stress on both of us. And then she drops the buns on the floor, and she dips. They both dip. And I was like, "All right, well, don't you come back, guys." And then he made some remark, like cueing towards like they were the ones to win this. They conquered that. They're the winners in that situation, which indicated to me that there's something in her bag because she had a bag on or something. But typically, I usually just check our steaks and meat shelf because those are usually a high target in our store for theft. But I mean, it was fine, so it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, those 2 were feeling pretty good, feeling pretty good because most times my pride usually takes a huge chunk, and I usually defeated for the rest of the shift. But yeah, that's pretty good. That I say $50. So not too big of a deal. We're a big enough corporation, but at the end of the day, we gotta do what's best for everyone and whatnot. Because I planned to have a guest, my lovely girlfriend in, but it got delayed, so you guys gotta wait for that one. And yeah, I appreciate all the support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess. Peace.